Johnson Fontaine.
I guess Emmanuel Loblack will join us very soon. As usual, we have to give God the praise, the big man. So we'll start with our prayer.
Father, thank you for another completed year. Thank you that you undertook for us last year. You watched over us. You ensured that we were all well. Thank you, Father God, that we are starting a brand new year. And we ask, Lord, that you will grant us even greater wisdom. I ask, Lord, that you will grant everyone on this program the knowledge to be compassionate, to be loving, but to be fair and just. I ask, Lord, that the research will be sound and the information that is disseminated will be wholesome. Bless this program tonight, and as they go forward, Father, I ask that everything that they will discuss, that will be discussed on the program, will bring glory to you, will lift men's hearts, and will cause everyone who listen to be better off for it. Thank you that you're about to do a good thing this evening, as everyone in the program will discuss this passionately, lovingly, and compassionately. Thank you for what you will do in and through everyone in the program tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ah, Papa. Papa.
Yes. Good night, LeBlanc. Good evening,
brother.
Emmanuel LeBlanc.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, my brother.
All
well,
the best.
Yeah, Chubby said, "Gade deba, kiapeila."
Apweza kinideba. Apweza kinideba.
So you said again, Lobby?
Apweza kinideba.
Apweza. No, I said apweza kinideba.
Oh, big debas. But I guess we'll come to that. First, well, this is our first show for the year, guys. So we want to wish everybody Happy New Year, and we hope that this year things will go very well. In fact, let me just say, one of our many listeners, a lady Geraldine Timothy in Montpros, she was buried yesterday. That was a lady always for years followed Sports Trap, and I just want to express condolences to her daughter Joycelyn and the other siblings. I hope you all will stay strong. Miss Geraldine was a staunch supporter of Sports Trap, so it's always tough when death is always tough. And Pastor Rodney, who always leads us in prayer, I want to say to him, be strong. He's going through some challenges. No, not he, but in terms of sibling, things are tough, but he's a praying man, and I know prayer will probably carry him through. So I just want to say to him, already a caller is on the line, but we'll take the caller just now.
I guess you want to be shot.
Yeah, tonight we have a packed program. We're going to be talking to Athletics Association people. We will speak to the Football Association. They have an academy starting tomorrow, so some of the people in the studio. We also will be speaking to Sam Kernan, who's in St. Vincent. He's the coach of the ladies team in St. Vincent, and Maggie has a football thing fundraising for a young guy. We're going to be speaking to him as well. So tonight we have a packed program. And like I said, Happy New Year. Already, lobby, hold on. With all the lights going already, let's see if we can take the call still. Good evening.
Man, happy New Year to all.
Thank you. Same to you.
Yes, boy, here you have a hotel to welcome all your deportees. They tell me by you, they putting them in your hotel.
Well, no, I don't have a hotel. I have a couple of houses, but I don't have a hotel at all. Blue.
But tell people, refugees, deportees, they're saying down, they're telling refugees. Not no refugees, it's deportees. I want to know what are their criminal background like. We can't just have people coming to our country and we don't know nothing about them. What is that? That is the payment for our passport.
Well, we'll soon find out. I can tell you that. We'll soon find out. We have another caller. Good evening. Hello.
They got.
Yeah, Lobby. Yeah, you're saying something?
Yes, Sebastian. You're talking about a PAC program. You have your eye. It's a new year, and before our last program, I told you, you try to get the president of the Cricket Association. That have been saying so for the longest while. I would like you to give us an update.
Well, when we get him, we'll get him. I'll tell you that, Black. When we get there, not he, others too. He and others. Look, we have a caller. Let me hold on. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Sibo.
How are you? Happy New Year, lady.
Thank you. I want to wish you, Luke Black, Dr. Fontaine, Randall, all the best for the new year.
Thank you.
You all wish yourself. And I want to thank the person who donated the wine to me. I want to wish that person all the best in the new year.
I'm sure he's listening. I know he's listening. So I told him that you were thankful for it. I told him. Yeah. Next caller. Good evening. Yeah, Lobby, yes. So that will happen. We'll get them because our cricket is in a mess.
The nation would like an update on the lighting in the Windsor Park. I don't
Well, what we'll do, the president of the Athletics Association should be in.
I'm not from yet. I'm hoping we're in 20. You started with the song Deba. I'm hoping enough is enough that cricket will start suffer, international cricket. So I'm hoping the light will be installed in 2026.
Well, it will be so, but it's when. I'll talk to you about that. We'll talk about that, but it's when. Good evening, caller.
Sibo, bonsoir.
Good night. Bonsoir.
Je m'occupe vous savez pour moi ça de bonne année pour Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
Bonne année pour
Lobby.
Bonne année aussi.
Ozzy Louis. Tout collègue nous, tout le monde nous. Pascal Rodney. Tout le monde nous qui a coûté Sport Rap. Australia by Aaron Cation.
That's true. We'll talk about that as well. Nous pouvons parler comme ça.
Okay.
You know, but guys, you know, Dominica is in, well, the world is in confusion now, Lo Black.
Well, Dominica, you know, I mean,
we are in problem.
We're talking about deportees, but even more impactful on Dominicans is the passional travel ban. I think that's a huge problem.
What's that, Lobby?
The bond, I know about a bond visa of how many thousands of dollars?
It's 42,000 EC for people who going to apply for a visa now. Now, most people that's out of their range. Because $42,000 just to put down, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. Unless you have a dramatic change from the U.S. But listen, we have to be fair to it. I was saying to some people yesterday, people are blaming Trump and so. But let's be fair. Trump went on an election campaign. He said what he was going to do. And we have to put the blame squarely where it should be. We are in this predicament because of the recklessness in Dominica.
Absolutely.
People were selling passports as if it's Bala, they were selling in Lago, or Goku Liu, or Vola, and greed. Because what happened is a few people that, and how I would say it, these are the people that should go after, the people who use the state's property to benefit themselves. We do not even know. When we hear what we're deported, you don't know which person sold the passport to them. You don't know. So these are the people that have put Dominica in this problem, the CBI program, and they should be honest and scrap the program if it comes to that. so that the whole country can benefit. Do it.
Yeah, I think the problem we have now, Sibo, is that, the innocent Dominicans are paying. They're literally paying for the recklessness, as you rightly said, of the Prime Minister. I mean, this is something that people kept warning about going back many, many years, and they thought that as long as the money was rolling in, life was good. But at the end of the day, that's a very high price for us to pay. I am particularly sorry for our students, the students who were looking forward to go to study this year, and persons who may develop medical conditions and will probably want to get a visa to go for medical reasons and so on. And of course, if you have a family member, you're going to celebrate a little holiday. As someone tell me, boy, all they want to do is go and take a little free up, in New York for a week or two. That's it.
But not in New York, you can even go to St. Thomas or St. Croix. People want to go just over there. They can even do that.
Yeah.
Go to St. Croix, St. Thomas. And how I look at it, man, and I say, people, we are really suffering, people in Dominica. And I heard at a press conference where Dominican workers, let's get together. But how do you get together when all you cause confusion? You have people saying all sorts of things. In fact, just a week ago, they were giving ham and turkey to a certain group of people. They were not giving it to everybody. So why now, when problem is caused by the people themselves, they're asking people, let's work together and blah, blah, blah. That it can't work, my goodness.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Sibo, my biggest concern, quite frankly, I have with all of this is that we're in a partial ban now. That partial could become a full ban in 6 months' time. And if that happens, it's going to be very, very bad for this country because our tourism will suffer. The cruise ships will most likely stop coming. And it could be a very difficult time for us.
But our airport could be a white elephant, Dr. Fountain.
What?
Because if you left, for instance, a lot of flights coming from America will be empty. A lot of the flights, that could happen. Because, in fact, what we have to monitor is the Carnival. How many people from the United States will come for Carnival? That we have to monitor.
Well, I think most of these individuals probably would have already bought their tickets
yeah.
And it doesn't really impact them per se. Because if you come in from the US
with your American,
with a return, then most likely you have either your green card or your US passport. So that will not affect these individuals at all. So I don't expect an impact on
there's
the
some people
Carnival.
that will be scared to come. There's some people that will be scared.
Well, probably the green card holders, but those with passports, I'm nothing to worry about, but
Yeah, Lobby, you're saying?
Yes, Sebastian. Just to give my on that, Sebastian. First of all, I heard, about what has happened, Sebastian, about let us work together. Over the years, when people, they were warned. They said that the people are not patriotic. They're lying. All right? You see the program fail. Up to now, all right, you have a country that has been micromanaged. Where is the Minister of Foreign Affairs?
Good question. Good question.
All right. You heard when they asked the latest, all I know that is good in Dominica now is press conference and ground breaking. Listen to me. When we had this famous press conference, they asked him about the president's statement. He said he cannot tell her. The president is a ceremonial leader, I mean, you can't tell her what to say.
True.
This is total madness, man. That's unacceptable. Where is the minister? Where is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sebastian?
Well, I think he give up now. I think that minister give up. Yeah, Lobby, he give up. But not only he, Lobby, you're not hearing any other minister, no other minister. Like people that they're enjoying themselves, getting their salary, and people don't give a damn. People suffering that, sir.
Look, Sebastian.
Hold on, Lobby. Let's take this call. 1 minute, we'll get back to you. Good evening. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. We need Donald Trump here to assist us in Dominica,
Say that again?
We need Donald Trump to assist us in Dominica.
In what way you think, Color? What way?
To get rid of our government that they personally, the people, get rid of Mr. Huh?
Well, Color, that's your view. Well, I don't know if Donald Trump will ever come around here. That's the problem. I don't know. Yeah. But really, it is just hurtful. And, and some people are naive, You speak to some people, and some people still in denial, think that, Trump and blaming Trump. You hear some people, you wonder really if these people living in the real world. I mean, to tell me, and we all know why we have been put on the black.
Yes, Sibo, I wanted to come back very quickly to the question of the deportees. Yesterday we had a press conference, the Workers' Party, and we were asking government to give us information. They came out with a statement today. I don't know if you've seen it.
I know I haven't seen
that
it.
gives a little bit of more information, but it still does not go into the kind of detail, for example, that we heard from St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts Prime Minister Drew said today that they had made it very clear to the Americans that they were only going to accept CARICOM nationals.
I heard that one, yeah.
Only CARICOM nationals.
Which is good.
They want nobody from outside the region coming to their country. Antigua Prime Minister has said that they will take people after they have been vetted. We've heard no such thing from the Prime Minister from Dominica. Even after what they released today, they're still saying that they're talking to the Americans, but still very little information, still very vague compared to the kind of information we're getting from the other islands.
As we talk about the press conference, Dr. Fontaine, let me ask you a question. All the press, were they there?
Yes, we had DBS was present.
Who that Curtis Murphy was there?
No, but Curtis was another place, but he sent somebody from the...
Yeah, but you see, that is my problem. Yeah. UWP has a press conference. A lot of the people, all of them are there. Even people that work in ODM or whatever, you see them, hear them there. But one the UWP, you don't hear them. Because I heard Matt question, I thought, is he alone that was there? Because I didn't hear any other...
Yes, the guy from DBS asked some questions.
Yeah, some questions. Yes, okay. Yes. Because I say I have to ask you that.
Now, Sibo.
Yes, Lobby.
Yes, Sebastian. We have to, it is just... we're in crisis mode now, serious crisis mode. Lack of information. First of all, let you go back to the Chinese letter of memorandum. It's in the sky. Now you have this thing now with the USA. How you could go and negotiate? What kind of negotiation is that? There's anything tangible? You have to ask questions. You just can't accept bagay jabasak. And bring
no, but hold on, Lovey. Let's take a call.
That's the best description.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good night, gentlemen. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night. Good night.
By chance, I'm to listen to Kari FM on Tuesday night. For 2 minutes. And I once said, the lion's shirt, I couldn't believe that. I said that or something was wrong. The man said, the lion's shirt, I put the radio off.
But that sort of nonsense you hear, you still hear people talking foolishness. The people, Dominica, right now, has been placed on the ban because of the CBI program. The government was warned on a different occasion. They say they did things. We don't know what they did, but we have found ourselves now in real difficulty. We do not know because all the sources now of Dominica's funds, like that one said, the CBI, that's going to go down. Venezuela, where they used to get funds, that probably will be blocked as well. So we try to wonder where the government are going to get the funds from soon. But Lobby, Dr. Fontaine, you remember here, it was the opposition that didn't want the CBI. And every time you go, they don't want it because they don't want you to have housing. And I have no issue in people getting housing. But who was getting the housing? It was not a fair basis where people who really needed, they were giving party hacks things. So it was not on a fair basis of all these housing. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Hello, Dr. Fontaine. I think you said you have to travel to the States to get some information, not so?
Yes, that's definitely the case.
I want you to do something for me and Dominicans. I don't know if it is possible because I myself, everything will affect me. I myself have a granddaughter and son and my family. Can you find out if it is possible what it is that Dominica and Antigua have done? Because everything now, Dominica, Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Lucia selling passport too. But this focus on Dominica, Antigua. I'm a Dominican, I was born here, I'm not going anywhere. Right here I am. So is it possible you could probably get a little, find out something for us now, please? Because I myself finding that strange is Dominica, Antigua. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And Dr. Fontaine, there's another issue we have to deal with, Because if you again, I'll go back to the thing about let's get together. But I heard you making the plea that they must use the birth paper to get confirmed. Even that, and that is something that has to be looked at.
Yes.
People all these diversionary tactics, this is important. People now need to go and register to vote. And that is something that need to be told. If when you go to meet the State Department, that's something you need to bring up, because this is a serious
Absolutely.
thing.
No,
And people are denying the right to vote, to register to vote.
Yes.
And nobody's speaking about that.
And that's a major problem.
A serious problem.
Very serious problem.
Because you see, let's take the caller. We'll get back. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening to all.
How are you? Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you all.
Yeah.
We're talking about so many little things. But remember, there are plenty things Kerry has done to his people in his country. Or you believe sometimes people don't know about that? When you take RSS and send to Salisbury, you think they don't know that? So many other things. Yeah, the rest of the money. You think they're watching that? Thank you.
Yeah, well, Dominicans have really suffered, and a lot of pain have been inflicted on Dominicans, honestly.
And then the caller before talked about Antigua and Dominica, and the question is why Antigua and Dominica? Because as you said, St. Kitts have the same problems, the same type of program, Grenada and St. Lucia,
right.
And then the focus is on Dominica. So that tells me, just without having the full information, that tells me that there are reasons other than what is stated, which is the CBI residency. There are other reasons why Dominica.
And we're not getting the truth. That's the problem. We're not getting the truth.
I think we have another caller. I think we may be caught in this international web there.
Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, Sibo. Yeah. You could hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We heard you.
Sibo, one of the easiest things Roosevelt Skerrit could have do to try to ease that problem Dominica have is to bring back the money when they sell the passport, to make sure it come to Dominica, Sibo. The easiest thing for him to do is to bring back the money, make sure all the passport that sell, they bring back the money. And you see all them passport agents, they should investigate them too. Remember the other side, which Dr. Fountain partner used to lead the other side? You don't hear nothing about them now. They used to think people don't like Dominica because we want to kill the passport program. You understand? But these guys see but the amount of corruption they in it over their head. They cannot survive this one because they cannot bring back the money. The EU recommend that so long, bring back the money, bring it to Dominica. Over $12 billion. And they want to bring back deportee instead.
Well, maybe not say they have a
criminal.
They have a sack, no, we call it. They have a sack. We have another caller. Good evening.
Yes, it's me again, but it's Antigua and Dominica that was responsible of Choxy. It's two of them, two of us. Thank you.
But guys, when the other problem was that when questions were asked about the fund, about giving proper reporting, all you will hear, oh, look at that, housing, no records. All you see here is, well, we build houses over there. Come on, man. That is not reported. You need to show people how much money you collected, how much your money spent. But you're not getting that. All you hear is, look, the houses we built over there.
But I always found it strange that a government that has a legitimate program was having difficulty bringing back the same money into the country. I always felt that made absolutely no sense. Why would international banks want to stop you from bringing in monies that you are earning legitimately? So there is a lot in that we don't get, and we lost banks over this. I remember I think it was not First Caribbean, the one Royal Bank that was saying that they were forced to deny money transfers coming in, and that's one of the reasons that they left, because they were just under too much pressure.
But even watching the Montreal management, they were giving our passport and the whole airport project thing. That is another whole stuff where you say the guy using his money to build the airport, and then he will pay him after.
But where he got this money?
Exactly. Where did he get it?
Because before passports, he did not have that kind of money.
But how then are we going to be able to pay him now, Dr. Fountain? when the airport finished. Where we gonna get
but
money from?
he's used our money. He's
You're right,
already
exactly.
gained money from the sale of our passports.
But I'm sure you heard it was said that we have to pay him back. That's what it was said
But that
after
is-
he used
that
our
is-
passport.
that is
So
just-
this
that
thing
is-
is a whole confusion. And as I say, passport was like Volan Balau, and now we are in a trouble. Dominica is in serious trouble. Next caller, hold on, Lobby. Good evening.
Hello, I want to ask Dr. Fountain a question again.
Go ahead, he's right
I
there.
always say when I ask, I want to be educated. The last time Mr. G had a program in the week there on Tuesday, I asked her, no, I think before, I asked her a question about that passport. And Crispin, Mr. Gregor gave, a little insight, but to me, I needed a little more. What I want to ask Dr. Fountain. Dr. Fountain, who issued the passports? He told me it's immigration. Okay, now when you issue those passports, Dr. Fountain, if you give me 6 to sale, right? Okay, if it's 100,000 for one. No, when I sell that those passports, if I sell 4, I still have 2. No, when that the money for the 4 I have, where do I bring it? And if it's treasury or wherever. No, when I sell that 4, I remain 2. Who has the information or who tell it and say, well, I gave you 6, you sell 4, you remain 2. You know that type of thing. Where you see how it goes, Dr. Funky. You understand what I'm saying? Who tell it to I sell 4, I remain 2. So who you're counting to that you have to say they take record and say, look, that person has 2 more to bring in. Thank you very much.
Yes, you see, the problem is with the way the program itself is run, because the only thing government is concerned about, if they issue 6 passports, they're looking to get $600,000, okay? Because each passport is $100,000. So the person with those 6 passports could sell 2 and make the $600,000, because there is no limit as to how much they can charge. All right, they can charge whatever fee that they want over and above. They just have to make sure the 100,000 comes in. That is one. The other one, where we have the real estate option, which is $200,000. This money is never actually seen by the government. That's the money that goes to MMC and to others like it. So we never really get that accounting. And like you said as well, the passports themselves, they're signed by the chief immigration officer. Okay, because if you go, I can guarantee you now, if you go to the office in town, you will see his desk piled high with passports. He signs all of those passports and they ship them out, So that's how it's done. But at the end of the day, the accounting should be done through the CBI. The CBI unit should be the ones that are checking how many people, which of the agents get them and so on. But I don't know how good a job that they're doing. What we do know is that almost 50,000 of our passports are out there.
But let me ask you though. Okay, take for instance, one of these passport agents, he goes to Pakistan. He sees a guy, the guy wants to pay. Does the guy pay him cash or check? How does the money get to Dominica? That would like to know.
The money should go through the banking system. And
you say should, right?
It should. And because I remember something surfaced on the internet some time ago when a check was made out actually the money was made out to Mr. Lawrence,
right.
Lennox Lawrence.
Oh, yeah?
He has an office in Greece.
Oh, yeah.
And the person that was paying him was sending a check to his office in Greece.
Oh, yeah.
So as well, that money eventually made its way back into Dominica. One never knows, So you have all of that needs to be.
And how do you know a lot of people didn't pay cash, Dr. Fountain? People pay larger shares to the people that selling the passport like Bola and
that's one of the reasons why the banks were so much against those monies coming through their banking system.
Let me read something a prominent Dominican saying. Dominica is at the brink. Only one rogue CBI passport holder has to commit one crime in the U.S., and it will be doomsday for Dominica. Dominicans must not suffer for the criminal actions of Roosevelt Skerritt. Do you ever hear the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, Grenada, and Antigua glorifying one China policy and worshipping Maduro? That is what a prominent Dominican is saying. Yes, Lobby.
Yes, Sebastian. Yes. The thing is this, Sebastian, on the does Dr. Fountain, yes, just to add what you are saying there. What about the accountability? What about the diplomatic passport? Where the money goes? Who it goes to?
Well, that does not come to the treasury at all. As far as we know, the diplomatic charged for that. Like, for example, what was paid by Madweke and so on, that did not come back, as far as we know, into our treasury. And that's some of these questions that the court case will hopefully answer for us.
So the check, for example, would be made on whose name?
Anyway, guys, okay, we have to move on. Our sponsors haven't come on board yet this year, but we have to thank Josephine Gabriel. Don't forget, people looking for local water, Trapito water is the best. Local Josephine Coca-Cola, Josephine Gabriel. They always are very hospitable to provide Sports Trap with water. So right now we're not taking a break, but we're going to be starting with athletics. We have the president of the Athletics Association with us. They just had an athletics meet just last weekend. They have another one coming soon. So I just want to welcome to our program Mr. Brendan Williams, the president, sir. Happy New Year, man.
To you, Mr. Sebastian, Mr. Thompson, Fountain,
and your friend Lobby is there, eh?
My coach.
Your coach, right? Your coach. Yes. So, Brendan, 2025 is gone. 2026. First of all, I want to ask you, from a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the association's work in 2025?
I'll give it an 8.
Give it an 8.
A solid 8. Yes, because we were able to implement a lot of programs. We're able to get our athletes at majority of the meets that we wanted to. And yes, and our athletes perform commendably. All our athletes who participate in various meets, we at least got a 5th place. And that was just one meet that we did not medal. That was the NACA Open Championships. But all other meets that we were able to stand on top of the podium. So that speaks volumes for an association that normally just participates at events. Now we're contending for medals. And the reason why I said 8, we also want to have more athletes competing at those events and vying for medals. Last year, though Thea won silver at Worlds, I think one of the highlights was having multiple athletes at the event. For several years, we've been having one athlete at the World Championships. The largest contingent of athletes we have had at a major world competition, and when I said world, Olympics or World Championships, was the Olympics in 1996. That was the inaugural time Dominica participated. So to have 3 athletes participate at the World Championships, it augurs well for the association. We're able to, have a lot of networking. There was a lot of networking last year, and most of the negotiations we're having would be a fruit this year. I think one of the highlights, and I think was birthday gift and Christmas gift last year, was World Athletics finally announcing Dominica being one of the 11 countries. They added another one. So another country to the program, awarding the construction of a track and field facility. So that was one of, something that took about 2 years to materialize. Though we knew that Dominica would have been getting a track, it was not basically officially announced by the should I say, the World Athletics and the Qatar Fund for Development. So I was very happy about that. Also sponsors. Dominica before also had no sponsors in terms of apparel company, and now we're in the process to actually move into another apparel company to sponsor Dominica Athletics, and by extension, other sports, like for example the Olympic Committee. So like I said, for me, I'm an overachiever, and even though I'm an overachiever, the rest of the executive know that. So there's still a lot more can be done. Just having a recognition, for example, from World Athletics, because Dominica was used as a case study last year at some of the sessions, the information sessions World Athletics had, and also at seminars and workshops they had at the World Championships. So delivering on, a small country, not only winning medal, but with the resources that we have, been able to attain some of our goals. So we were used as a case study, and also been working with other countries, in Oceania and, the smaller countries of the Australian coast, such as the Cook Islands, Seychelles, and what we've been doing, partnering and basically giving them tips as to, how can your association be in the same position as us. and also some of the resources we're able to tap in. So, for example, through UNICEF, we're able to do our safeguarding policy through that. And some of the organizations have these organizations in their territory, but not be able to tap into that. So I think these are some of the things that we're able to accomplish. But most importantly, our athletes are being recognized out there. So it's no longer, Dominica just come to participate. It's now they're actually saying, okay, let me see which events Dominica are going to contend for.
You mentioned that the World Athletics has decided to include Dominica on the list of countries to get a track. Give us more information on that, because people want to know how much are they going to contribute, what exactly the federation is going to do for Dominica in terms of getting us the track.
Yeah. So I can give what I'm permitted to give, because like I said, we knew for some time that we'd be getting a track, but on the World Athletics, we're embargoed to say anything. So we're basically towing a line and saying that, okay, we've been working with partners, but we're embargoed to say anything because they did not want other countries who also applied to say, hey, but I applied. Why is this country saying that they're getting a track? So we're embargoed for there about almost 9 months from saying anything.
So you still can't say anything?
No, I can say.
Okay, all right, okay.
Obviously. So the scope of the project is that World Athletics will be delivering a class 1 certified track, so which means we can hold any international competition in Dominica. Also, they will be assisting with the clearing of the land just to make it level. But then any major works to prepare the site would be on the government. They will also be giving the certification, which costs a lot. They will be assisting in terms of the drainage, the steeplechase, pole vault, and some of the amenities on the track. The government would have to do with the land, which we have since acquired. The government has since acquired. And also they would have to do with any major earth movement. They will also have to do storage, admin blocks, seats, and there's another thing. But there's a long list of what World Athletics is offering.
About a month or two ago, what's his name? Oscar George did. I'm sure you probably, I think you were there as well. When he made it, they have to redesign the entire thing, and they have to put all sorts of things. So how long is that going to take? So when do we expect to see work starting in Portsmouth on that track?
So the plan is Dominica is one of the first countries, because they're going to break it up in 3 phases, and that's the delivery of the project from World Athletics. And Dominica is in the first phase for delivery of the track. So we're looking at the first quarter of this year. But what the minister spoke about is that there was a general master plan by the government, and the track will just fit into that. So outside of the master plan, the World Athletics will be doing the track. But all the other infrastructures, for example, the parking, the admin block, the government will be doing it.
Question.
Go ahead, Lobby.
Yes. Is there an estimated amount? What is government input in terms of money? How much money? And in terms of, you said the government will be responsible, Brendan, for leveling the playing field?
Yes, leveling the area, the land.
Is there a cost? Is there a cost into that?
So like I said, the master plan is being developed. However, regardless of the cost of the track, the World Athletics will be covering. That is a commitment they give.
So what it basically...
And the track I cannot disclose, because they're finalizing with the supplier. I have spoken with the supplier, how shall I say, behind closed doors, but it is, it's not yet certified. I have spoken to the supplier. The supplier have asked for certain requisites, some certain criteria, what type of designs. But it's basically, since the government is already in advanced stage with designs already that they were working on, we're just handing it over to the supplier. So they'll make any amendments based on the type of material they'll be supplying.
Do you think that the clearing of the land will be, do you see any hurdles, any problem? Is it very flat?
Well, anything I give there would just be my opinion, and I like to speak from a point of fact. I'm not an engineer, but like I said, we identified an area of land which is suitable for the track based on the recommendation of the technical officials within the ministries, the various ministries. Also, from the individuals that were tasked to do the master plan, they also, they conferred with the government or they concurred with the government that that would be a suitable piece of land to work for the track.
Yeah, but I understand that, Brendan. What I'm saying is this: in terms of clearing the land. First of all, we are a very mountainous country, not flat like Barbados. All right, yes. Clearing the land is difficult. How difficult it would be? How difficult it would be? Instead, you first quarter we will see some movement. All right. So you believe that clearing the land it won't be that difficult. So by the first quarter you'll start seeing movement.
Yeah, but then you're asking me to give a level of difficulty which I'm not in a position to give because I'm not a technician in that area. All I can say is that a commitment was made that the land will be cleared for the construction of the track. So as it relates to, we all know the terrain in Dominica regardless, it poses challenges. And that is much as I know from, knowledge. But as it relates to how difficult it is or how easy it is, I would be able to say that. All I know that the land will be cleared.
But I think what he's asking, because the area in Portsmouth is not mountain, right? It's not that you have to move a mountain to thing. It's relatively flat, right? Yeah, man. I think the area where they're going to build it in Point Rong, it's relatively flat, relatively.
So, Brendan, I'm sure you in touch with the minister on that. So, when do we really expect to see a start there in Portsmouth on that track?
What we're waiting on is for Will Athletics to decide, hey, this is when we're going to start disbursing of funds.
Okay.
This is when we're going to, and from there we start to move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now we are waiting on Will Athletics. They're actually having a meeting, and they said they'll get back to me from the meeting in Tallahassee. That is over the course of this weekend to next week because there's a World Cross Country Championships being held in Tallahassee. Also, the supplier indicated that they will be in Tallahassee as well so that they can complete the negotiations with Will Athletics.
Okay. Now, Brendan, let's go to actually athletics. You had athletics last weekend. You had a track meet.
That is correct.
I'm sure you want to tell listeners about that track meet last weekend.
So last week we had our first development meet, which was held in Benjamin's Park, Portsmouth. We had the athletes have the opportunity to qualify for the Carifta Games, and not only the Carifta Games, but to identify athletes for the Youth Olympics, which will be held in Dakar, Senegal, later in the year. Also, we have the Under-18, Under-23 championships and other regional competitions. But, the main focus now is the Carifta Games because Carifta is going to be held from the 4th to 6th of April. And that will be held at St. George's Stadium in Grenada, Kirani James Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. Out of the competition, we had one athlete who was already qualified but surpassed the qualification mark further, and that is Mr. Jamichael Titt out of Marigot, who is trained by Mr. Gordon Dorset out of the Westmore Rangers Athletics Club. So he threw in the boys under-20 discus. He surpassed the mark of 44.37 meters, and he threw a distance of 46.36 meters. So he's showing that upward trajectory, and his aim, because he did not make the standard last year, even though he was throwing the standard in training. But this year he wants to basically stamp his authority by actually going on the medal podium. But besides him, we saw some athletes who were close to the qualifying mark. And when I say close, sometimes we say that person is close and they may be a few seconds off. But they were relatively close. There were about 11 of the athletes. Off the top of my head, I would not be able to remember all the names, or I do not want to miss out. But the athletes showed promise to qualifying for the games. We have about 6 more competitions before the Carifta Games cutoff qualification, which is March 15th. So we see the opportunity for athletes to qualify there. So what we're doing as the association is that we have noticed that some of the clubs or even the athletes themselves, they burden themselves and doing too many events at one competition. So they will not be able to focus on one event or the event they're trying to qualify for. So what we're doing is that we're putting some events, core events, in one development meet, and the next meet we'll put another. So the athletes will get that opportunity to train, or some athletes would rest this week and some will compete next week. So in Granby, we'll have a switch in different events. So if we had the 100 meters in Portsmouth, we're having the 200 meters in Granby. We had the high jump in Portsmouth. We're having triple jump and long jump. So that type of shift. So we do see some athletes coming on. We are targeting about 15 athletes to qualify for the games. And that is also taking account with our athletes that we have in Jamaica. So for example, we have Karel Etienne, who's competing this weekend in Jamaica. and then we have Addison James, who is the defending gold medalist, will be competing. He told me on the 24th. So that's when he's doing his first event on the 24th. Also, we have other athletes that, you know, of Dominican parentage who said that they're indicating their willingness to compete for Dominica, have their passports and everything, but we told them it is not a free ride. You also have to surpass the qualifying marks, because some of them indicated, hey, I could pay for my child or ward's passage to come to the Caribbean Games, but we said no, it's not.
You have to qualify first to
qualify for the games. And the reason why we focus on quality and qualification is that some persons say, okay, the standard is difficult, or, you know, why the athletes have to qualify, why we don't just send a team. But sometimes it can demotivate an athlete when they do not qualify. And even though we have our qualification standards, we peg it basically on 5th place to 8th place, at least making it to the finals of the Caribbean Games. But then you'd have other countries whose standards are way higher than Dominica's own. So imagine you not qualifying and attending, you'll be blown out of the race. And we do not want that for our athletes. We want to ensure that we encourage them, but give them something they can work towards, not just a wash your foot and come. And also, if you don't put a standard, it becomes subjective. That, Mr. Williams, and they don't really say the Athletics Association or the rest. Mr. Williams did not select you to go. So we have to ensure that it's an objective process in terms of athletes qualifying. Yes, I will say there are a few circumstances where someone is like very, very, very close and is like, imagine 100 meters and they run, the standard is 1090 and they run 1091, but they've been showing a trajectory that they've been on that mark. Then you can give consideration, but not someone who's running 11.3 and the standard is 1090. So I just, just to put that out there.
Yeah, Lobby, I see you. Go ahead.
Yes, Brendan, I've just listened to you with you said you're projecting 15.
Lobby, speak up a bit because you're a bit low there.
Yes. You're projecting 15 athletes. 15 athletes. I find over the years, I've always looked at that in Dominica, and they always, I've been pressured. Why I don't want athletes to go. But I always believe in you have to expose people. In terms of qualifying, I always find that people should try to qualify at this standard at least twice. And some people, why they don't, for example, this first meet, you would have 4 people qualified. They could qualify. And they just sit back. And they don't perform when the Caribbean Games come. So there's something that has to be done where you can up the standard, you can put pressure on the athletes. Because I'm seeing too many times that, we get to the games and just 1 or 2 the rest of the athletes, they're just passengers. We have to raise the standard. You have to put pressure on the athletes. You have to put pressure on them. It's not easy out there. I mean, say, look, the games itself, I saw last year, number of other the games spreading. Some of the countries that never used to perform, I'm seeing that, you're doing well, it's getting very, very compared. I know we have limitation in Dominica. A lot of limitation in terms of the athletes in Roseau. The athletes in Roseau have serious problem where to train. All right, praise God, wasn't enough. You have Portsmouth, Graham, you have like that. But I know we have a serious problem in Roseau right now. Even grammar school, where you could use, you had a place where you could should do some jumps there. Is that area still available, Brendan?
No, it's not.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But let me ask a question there, Lobby.
But Mr. Lobulak, I concur with your sentiments, and it is reflected in the qualification document. So I could share it with you. But in the document, it says that the qualification mark, achieving the qualification mark, does not mean that you're in a team. It is subject, because it also states that you have to show upward trajectory after qualifying. So it is stated in the qualification document.
All right. What I wanted to ask, the surface our kids are running on, obviously when you go to a meet, it's a different surface. Isn't that a disadvantage for them to qualify? Because every year I'm hearing that students not qualified, we always have a problem in getting students to qualify for the Caribbean Games.
Yeah, I can say there are pros and cons to that statement as well. But then, like I would say, there are some athletes, like if you look at the Jamaica program, for example, Edwin Allen, they don't train on track.
Okay.
They train on grass.
Right.
If you look at GC Foster, all their work before, they train on grass. Yes, for example, even if we have the stadium now, it doesn't mean the athletes have to be trained on the synthetic
No,
surface
no.
24/7.
Mhm.
I think this is a good deal because Mr. Loblack is concurring to everything I say. But what I'm saying is that the athletes train. If you look at from the MVPs to the the major clubs, I'm calling them out because persons they use that as benchmark. From racers track, they train on grass, but they at a certain period of the year they have to go on the synthetic surface. But what we plan on doing is that when the athletes qualify, we plan on going out to Grenada earlier.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have to ask permission from the schools or whatnot so that the athletes can go, and we also have to look at whether they have exams. We know precedents have been set that second term don't really have exams, end of year exams, but we're trying to bring the athletes down to Grenada before, so that they actually is like a camp beforehand, so the athletes be able to get acclimatized to the synthetic surface. Also, those athletes who qualify for the games will get opportunities to go out to neighboring islands. So, for example, Guadeloupe Martinique to compete, and also we're looking at Trinidad for one competition as well.
But you see, Brendan, we utilized the French islands a lot. As Sebastian was talking about our disadvantage on the grass, and you just said about Concondo. It's you have to balance, first of all. You have to balance at all because you don't want to get shin splints.
Yeah.
Of you getting injured. All right. The track itself will be used, for example, Sebastian, for you have time trials. What you have to understand, Sebastian, the track which Brendan will agree, you can get disqualified on the lanes. You have to practice running the bends properly, the 400. So it's not easy. It's good to have the track because you have people winning 200, 400, 800. In the 800, the first 200, you have to run in lanes. You got to practice. All this thing is very, very important. All right. Then you, for example, the jumps, long jump, triple jump, all this done on the synthetic track. You have to practice. If you have a run up on the grass, all right. When you get to that international track, it's a different kettle of fish altogether. And Brendan can tell you that as a jumper, all right. It's just not easy. But as I said, Sebastian, it is not those in Roseau. I'm concerned about Roseau. The athletes in Roseau, the schools in Roseau, all right, where you had a lot of talent being suppressed right now over the years. There's no place to practice.
Yes, also, Brendan, just to follow up, other than the Carifta Games, what's the other major tournaments we can look forward for this year?
Yes, so we have the World Indoor Championships. The World Indoor Championships will be held in Poland during the month of March. Dominica is only allotted one quota space, and that is Thea. Thea will be attending because she won the indoors and also she came fourth last year in the World Indoors. However, if we have more than one athlete qualifying, they will attend. So as of now, Thea Lafont will be going to the World Indoors in Poland. We also have the under 18, under 23 championships. Based on the fact that I'm on NACA, we have one country who lobbying to get the competition, but I cannot disclose as yet because it's not yet official. But that tournament will be in July. That competition will be July. So we'll also have the Commonwealth Games is one of the bigger competitions, will be held in Glasgow, Scotland. That will be July to August. We have the CAC Games, which will be held at the same time. So basically, we'd have to split our team and decide, okay, which athletes, the top tier will go one and the lower tier will probably go to
Where
another.
will the CAC Games be held?
CAC will be held in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. It's the Centennial Games as well. So they would like all countries within the region, which is Central America and Caribbean, to participate. But, we already know that some of our top athletes may opt to go to another competition, which is the Commonwealth Games, because of the stature of the Commonwealth Games and the reputation that it has. Especially when you have to look at the commercial aspect and the professionalism of the athletes. It is pegged to their sponsorship. They may get bonuses from going to the Commonwealth Games. We also have the World Juniors competition. We have never had more than one athlete. Mr. Loblack could correct me, but we never had more than one athlete.
Where's that going to be held?
It's going to be held in Eugene, Oregon.
Well, the reason why I was asking that question, because I was coming to that. What happens now? How is that going with what's happening now in terms of Dominicans? Will our athletes be able to go to Oregon?
Yes, athletes exempted.
Athletes
Right?
exempted?
Athletes
Yes,
are exempted.
athletes exempted.
If
Yeah.
you're going, but there's a caveat. And the reason why I said the caveat, so you are all subjected to the CBP, Customs Border Protection. But then all athletes,
Yeah.
one, they have visas already. So they already have their
Oh,
visitors
well,
visas.
so they okay.
Oh, okay.
And those we already identify have the visitors visas.
All right. Well,
But-
that's good.
But then as relates to athletes being exempted, for example, Ethiopia, 14 of the athletes were denied visas to travel to the World Cross Country Championships, which will be next week.
Whoa.
And they're not on any sanction list. They're not on any list. So, but yes, so we're looking at 2 to 3 athletes for that. So that would be a plus for us, seeing that Dominica's, before only be sending 1 athlete and sometimes not qualified, but we're looking to have at least 2 qualified athletes for Eugene. Also, we have the Ultimate Championships, which will be the first time they're holding it. It's going to be in Hungary, Budapest, and it is basically the best of the best. So the top 16 athletes, or the top 32 not 32, top 16 athletes in all events will be participating in that event. So far, we have Tia. She got an invitation for that meet because she's the defending Olympic champion. So there are a few persons who get a bye: Olympic champion, world champion, indoor champion, Diamond League winner, continental winner. So, and the person with the highest ranked will get, and then they go down to complete based on rankings. So World Athletics operates differently. For character, we use standards, but World Athletics operates differently now. It's based on ranking. Either you qualify outright or you're ranked within a certain frame. But they predominantly stick to ranking the top athletes who are ranked. So you may find some athletes maybe excelling, they'll be competing and they're saying, hey, but I'm not going out there. It is not no fault of us when they said that you have to be ranked within a certain threshold for it to make it to the competition. Yeah, so these are some of our major competition. I spoke about 5 or 6 of them. So yes, we'll be able to see our athletes on the international scene very often.
That's good. Now, years ago, when myself and Loblack were involved in the Athletic Association, we still have this regional competition, regional athletics meet, sponsored by the time by Texaco.
Yeah.
That
OECS,
we still have the OECS, and that was really good to expose the athletes. Is that competition still alive, or is there any talk to, if it's dead, is there any talk to revive it?
So there were 2 member federations that were trying to revive it. That would be in the British Virgin Islands and St. Kitts. But the thing is, look at the global economy. A lot of persons are not getting sponsorship to hold events.
Yep,
and so because of that, there's difficulty to revamp it. However, I know last year, speaking to the president of St. Kitts, he got a sponsor, but he's just basically slotting it in the already heavy athletics calendar. Do we do it next year? Do we do it this year? So that is the conversation. We also have the Whitsuntide Games, which Mr. Lublack would know about. But then again, the cost of travel, because just to get to Grenada, sometimes it's more than $3,000 to $4,000 to get to Grenada.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so having our athletes going there, it's kind of difficult. Then, looking at the resources, which competition do you go? So you're almost like, do I send my athlete to this competition? So it's becoming, that's why we focus a lot on the French territories. They want us to come over there to sharpen their athletes, but then we want to go to other countries where we can actually sharpen ours.
Right.
So we can get pulled by the other athletes. But like I said, it is the resources. It's the resources that is difficult to come up with.
Before we hold on now, before we wind down, that one with Lobby. You talk about funds. How do you all raise funds to the Athletic Association?
So we get funds from World Athletics, we get funds from the government, and we also get funds from the Dominican Olympic Committee.
Okay.
And then we, time to time, so I can start my pitch now. We go to the general, business houses in Dominica for sponsorship. I must say, last year we had a few coming on board, specifically sponsoring athletes. So it alleviated the burden of us to sponsor those athletes. But then, it is difficult. I mean, it is very difficult for a person to sponsor. So that is one thing we've been working with. When we're looking to switch, as we're looking to switch and negotiating with the other apparel companies, that we help with our development programs. So then whatever funds that we get from the government, we'll just use it for travel. Whatever funds we get from Olympic Committee, we'll just use it to travel. And for World Athletics, will be strictly for administration. Because, you know, a lot of persons, like when they see me in the street, oh yeah, you're making a lot of money from athletics. And I'll tell them athletics making a lot of money from me. You understand? But then, you know, that is the harsh reality. We do it because we love this sport. This sport has given us so much, and we
it's still voluntary.
Mostly. So you ensure that you give back to the athletes. But I can tell you,
it's tough.
It's tough. So that's why I have that joke with the executive. I say I become a professional beggar because every time I go out, I try to see how I can get something back. And I always believe if it's a pin or one discus, is one discus we don't have to buy.
Well, you know, all associations, I was in cricket association for over 20 years, and a lot of time to find funds was a problem. Maybe you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Yes. Three things I want to say. First thing, Brendan, for the Commonwealth Games, what about the standard for the Commonwealth Games? Do you all have standard, or they provide their own standard?
So what the Commonwealth Games do not provide a standard, but what they do, they have a quota system.
Okay.
So they're saying that for Dominica, they're only giving you 11 slots, and 11 slots would be within X amount of sports. So then the Olympic Committee, I have to change it. The Commonwealth Sport Association of Dominica would have to decide, okay, which athletes we're sending in which sports. So if they're saying that out of the 11, they're giving athletics 5 sports, we'd have to see, you know, based on the standards or the rankings, these are our athletes. You understand? Because sometimes you set out a standard for the Commonwealth Games and probably 2 persons attain it. And are you saying that we're just going to need 2? Or
no, I don't agree with you, but you say only 2. Well, a person can be close.
I understand, but like I said, you have to look at opportunity, giving the senior athletes the opportunity, and also looking at, you know, how many slots are allocated to your sport. Because you know, you have other sports like boxing, you have sports. I'm just saying, you know, some of them do not have qualification, but you also want to give those sports an opportunity for the athletes to participate.
Yeah, because Brendan, let's face it, I understand what you're saying in terms of 2, which you have seen. We have seen that.
It's just a number. Don't hold me accountable.
I know. One thing is that we have seen, first of all, how competitive track has become.
Yeah.
Especially in the distant races from it go up to the marathon. If you get the after, you know, and this is not easy. To me, every event now is you have. So yes, you don't want to send a person to do, for example, 1,500 meters, you know, and the people you have been lapped. Or I understand that, you know, but I understand that you have to try. But the next thing, Brendan, I would like to see, you know, because since I left, DA, I'm looking at what has happened to schools sports, especially in the Roseau catchment area. All right, grammar school have lost their ground. You know, where you were, you know, Sebastian earlier enjoyed those days. And for the sport, track and field, look at talent. Something has to be done.
Yeah.
Whether you all may have to lobby on behalf of the schools to see how they can utilize the stadium during Easter for the schools to have their sports day. You have to have something has to be done to encourage, because the talent, you know, too many folk, you know, the talent before sports was alive. It was alive in those days. You had less crime, you had less problem. You know, we have to see how we can get that back. The sports to enjoy.
If you might jump on that one, myself, Thea Laffoe-Gatson, Aaron Gatson, the Minister of Sports, and also the Permanent Secretary, we had a meeting late last year, in the last quarter of last year, and we identified an area where the athletes could train, and we were in discussion, sent proposals, you know, what we'd like to see. So that is something that is before the minister.
You don't want to tell us where now?
No.
Okay.
I'm not in a position to discuss.
All right.
But like I can say, we have lobbied for that, for a area, because we, like you rightly said, you said the 3 times, the clubs, and I will say, I was very clear in what I say, the clubs which I have the charge over as the Athletics Association, there's no area where they can train in town. Besides the gardens, yes, they do train in the stadium.
But it's not a proper undulating and everything.
They do train in the stadium from time to time. It is not to say a regular where they train in the stadium. But yes, we have emails. There are emails that we've sent, myself and Thea, to give our recommendations. It was taken forward by the Minister, Oscar George. And, he indicated that he will work on us, and we have to convene another meeting, whether it's in person, but we opted for having one virtually based on the schedule of Thea.
Okay. Right, Lobby, we have to run out of time now, so we have other guests waiting. Brendan, thank you so much for coming. And don't say too long again before coming here.
No. But you have to understand that I don't have to apologize. It's just that, sometimes the schedule is very...
I realize that because last time we had difficulty getting you.
It's very heavy. And now with the character, the new appointments and those things.
I know. Well, what we'll do before character, we'll see if we get you back and you can tell us the progress that's been made. I hope by that time we hear a few people qualifying.
By Sunday, I can say we should have a few people.
All right. So thank you very much. And we'll be in touch with you. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Yes, Lobby. So like I said, our sponsor, let me just throw it out there, haven't come on board yet for this year. So all the potential sponsors out there can come forward. In the meantime, we have to thank Coca-Cola, Josephine Gabriel, for providing us with Twapita water. That's what we can say so far. SC Shillingford, we can't forget them though. They have always been our sponsors, and Del Najis as well. We can't forget Del Najis. So we have to always big up SC Shillingford. They have been good for us the last few years, and Del Najis and Josephine Gabriel providing us with Twapita water. Lobby, welcome to the game, Arsenal and Liverpool. I didn't see the end.
Which one?
Good afternoon in England.
The last score, it was 0-0.
0-0. Yeah, well, Liverpool in the second half, we really had them on their toes, man, in the second half. But, I didn't understand Arsenal. The main men like Eze and Jesus, all these guys on the bench for too long. I don't know what the hell this manager is doing. But anyway, we have big guests in the program.
0-0 draw.
0-0 draw. Yeah, very poor. David Bruni, your team was very poor today, Arsenal. David Bruni, good night. Right. We have some high-powered people in the studio. We have the chief I think it's the technical officer? Technical director. We have Mr. Hurd, and we have the PR. I'll let them identify themselves. By the way, guys, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yes,
Happy New Year. Right. So, come on, tell listeners. You all tell the listeners.
Okay, I'm Jerome Bad, the technical director presently at the Dominica Football Association.
Yeah, and Kurt Hurd, familiar face now, fourth time on.
Well, yeah,
you're regular with us, yeah.
By the way, did you eat a lot of the fruitcake for Christmas, Mr. Hurd in Dominica? You enjoyed it?
Too much.
Too much. So you have to go in the gym now. You have to go work out, right? And the PRO? Heavy Lord. Right, guys, we're here not to talk about cake and everything. We're here to talk about football. You all have a big opening tomorrow, right? Tell us about it.
Yes, it's something that we have been looking forward to for some time. It is the launching of our National Academy. And it's something that we've worked really, really hard to achieve. And finally, it's here. And so we will give you quite a bit of information.
Well, go ahead. That's why you're here. Tell us about it.
Yes. Okay, so we believe that we needed to get to a level where we will expose our players to a high performance standard. We are coming from the Regional Training Center program that we had initiated about 4 years ago. And while the standard was high there, we exposed our players here to some of our best coaches. We allowed them quite a bit of contact time. And we were really, really working really hard to get the players exposed to a higher level of training about what they would have experienced at the academies and at the schools and wherever. But we continue to get the football to a higher level. And so the high performance exposure that we're going to give the players is really going to get the best of the players that we have selected to compete at higher level. We have assigned and we have our FIFA talent coach alongside with us. But we have identified among the coaches that we have on island the best, to allow for a lot more contact time, but a higher exposure to a development, environment that would allow us to prepare the players to be able to compete. I know we've been in competition in the past, but we want to be more competitive. And so the environment that we are creating for them is to get into a higher level, of technical competence, a better understanding of the game tactically. And we want to go out there and to compete, as many of the other teams have done.
Let me ask you, different age groups are going to be in the academy, or you have one age group?
Yeah, so there's 4 age groups. So we've got we aligned it with the CONCACAF calendar. So the CONCACAF calendar for this year will be under 15 girls. So we have under 15 girls, under 14 boys, they'll play CFU. And we've now introduced under 13 girls and an under 12 boys. So we're bringing kids in from 9, 10 years old, and we're giving them that exposure really early. Bringing them in at the 12 and 13 age group means we've got 2-3 years of contact time before they go to CFU and CONCACAF. So really, when we go to these, as Mr. Badwell just touched on there, and the aim of this is to raise competitiveness at national team level. So by bringing them in early and giving them 2 or 3 years of sustained training, we're hoping to do that for the youth national teams. So we've got those 4 groups, and they'll rotate year on year. So for example, next year we'll have an under 12 girls, and those under 12 boys will now become under 13 boys. Under 13 girls will become under 14 girls, and there's a promotion within. So everybody remains within the academy as well in almost a 4 or 5 year cycle.
So how do you go about selecting those kids?
It was tough. It was tough. It wasn't easy, and you have to make sure you leave no stone unturned, which we worked tirelessly to do. To be fair, we went into every region. We contacted all the schools. We contacted all the clubs. We made sure that everybody that was available was there on the day. And yeah, like I said, the last time I was in, I think we made contact with 358 youth football players in that initial contact. We managed to bring that down to roughly 180. And then from the 180, we're now down at the 82 that we have in the National Academy. And it was tough, but it's, again, it comes along with knowing what you're looking for as well. All these players are developing at different stages and ages, and it's important that we know what we're looking for as a football association. We're not just looking at the big, tall, physical players that are constantly, looking the best. We're looking for the ones that we see physical potential in as well as the technical potential. This is a holistic program. This isn't who's the best football player, who's a good kid, who's a good person, who do we notice picking up the cones after training, who do we notice speaking to the coaches respectfully. And all those things come into it as well. It's not just a case of an eye on football. And that's why I say, it was a tireless process. We would sit down after every session, myself, Mr. Badwell. We had Christina also in from FIFA who came in to support us, and the staff. We'd all sit down and discuss not just football matters, but again, like I say, who was a good kid? Who did we notice being a good teammate? It was a tough process, but I think where we are now, I think we've made... Nobody ever gets it 100% spot on, but I think 99%. I think we've done really well with the selections.
Well, people out there will want to know where will be the location of the academy. That's the most important thing. So you have to tell people where the location is going to be.
Well, it's at our technical center at Stock Farm, and that's where we've been doing most of our training. And we never had any reason to go out yet. And I mean, you never know. Situations may have us go out and have the players experience other environments. But for now, our main venue is at the technical center at Stock Farm.
So when you start tomorrow, how many kids you're going to have, and how many days per week you're going to have the kids there?
Well, we've actually started already, though.
Tomorrow
is the luncheon.
The luncheon.
It's presenting the National Academy to the Dominican populace.
Okay. So how many students will attend on a regular basis in terms of under 12, under 14, whatever?
Yeah. So what we've done, just purely on for infrastructure purposes, because of having Stock Farm at the minute, we train the 12s and the 13s side by side, and the 14s, 15s side by side. So we have 3 times a week we bring in the older players. So that's a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday, and they come in. Obviously, more contact because in August, God willing, they'll be the national team that goes to represent us at CONCACAF and CFU. So they get more contact time. Whilst the youths, the 12s and 13s, they come in twice a week. That's a Tuesday and a Friday.
What time?
It's 3 p.m. till 4:30. So we're on Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, working with the different age groups.
Well, let me ask you, we all live in Dominican. We know how the economy is. In terms of getting the students there in afternoons, how are you all going to go about it? Will you all be providing buses to take them there and to take them back home? How is that going to work?
Well, that's what we've been doing over the years with our national teams and with the National Academy. It's at no cost to the parents or the students. So the Dominican Football Association is handling every cost of transportation, cost of uniforms, cost of snacks and everything that the young persons are going to need, for the sessions.
Lobby, I'm sure you want to ask some question, Lobby.
Yes, on the question, Sebastian, I want to ask. So far, the sessions you all have been having, are you all satisfied? First of all, what are the areas of the football skill are you all working on?
Well, I can speak to that, though, and I will ask to contribute also. So for the 12-year-olds and the 13-year-olds, it's heavily technical development. This is basic. This is fundamental for any footballer.
Very important.
Yes, definitely. And so the emphasis for the younger players is to get them technically sound. In the absence of technical ability, you're going to have difficulty playing the game. For the other players, 14 and 15-year-olds, in addition to improving their technical skills, we will introduce them to some sound tactical exposure, which Lobby, you would know as a coach, is definitely important for the players to be able to play the game well. But I'd like to ask it to contribute to this additionally.
Yeah, I think Mr. Badwell touched on it there. As we've discussed before, Lobby, everything's technical based. It has to be technical based, especially with the younger ones. With the older ones, the plan at the start was to integrate more tactical work, more game based work. That's the plan from March onwards now. So what we noticed when they came in is that because these under 14 boys were coming in, and whilst they'd been in the RTCs, this was it's a new environment. It's a step up again. It's a step up in exposure and intensity. And what we made the decision as an association that we were going to spend the next 2 to 3 months solely focused on technical development to give them that solid foundation before we start to integrate the tactical and the game-based learning from March onwards, leading up to August.
Is there any emphasis on historyism, the age, any strength work, Mr. Badwell?
Well, one of the things that you would know very well, even in your attempt to prepare the players sound technically and tactically, there are things that you can incorporate, while you're doing your session that can enhance strength and physical stature. And so it's not going to be with weights, lifting weights. Yeah, but not yet. But there are some things that can be done and will be introduced that will get them, to develop physically. Because
you see, Badwell, when I came, last year, 23, I've been in Dominica 2024, in Dominica 25, and I move around. I'm looking at what I found there. I'm telling you, I'm quite surprised right now in Dominica at the size of our athletes.
Yeah.
Look, when you went to school, Sebastian went to school, everybody went to, the girls, people were just naturally strong. They had natural physique. I don't know what's wrong with us now. Even the boys.
I have an idea though. And some of the things that we were exposed to, Lobby, growing up, jumping across, the stones in the river, climbing mango trees and all those things. Stones, all those things contributed, to the strength that we developed.
Because look, even in the schools, you find the girls, you don't see the girls and them skipping, playing hopscotch. These things develop a lot. They're not natural. I find the girls, they are petite. The boys, even I'm shocked.
Yeah, they're confined to their homes and on their gadgets. So they're restricted. So this is not helping at all. And you're right.
I'm telling you, because look, football today, which will agree. It's not like yesterday. The girls today, you got to play them. The girls are strong. They tackle hard. You get hard tackle. You have to be prepared for that. You go out to play football, you have to be prepared to get contact. It's not, you know, you have to be prepared.
And your nutrition also should contribute to
that. Is key, yeah.
I think, Louis, I just a point for myself on that as well. I think it's really important that if we're only, as coaches, if we're only getting 3 hours or 4 hours of contact a week, these players need to take some accountability and they need to work on physical things in their own time as well. You know, we, as coaches, I think where we're at with football, we need to set a technical foundation. If we start taking away from that to work on physical things that they could be doing in their own time, but they don't want to, then that makes the task for us a lot harder to develop football and players here on the island. So I think what we're trying to do within the programme as well is send the players away with things to do at home, whether it's agility, whether it's strength and conditioning. But players are asked to do things, but whilst we do incorporate these things into training, these players need to take accountability, as Mr. Badwell touched on, for their own nutrition. They have to take accountability for their own fitness and strength conditioning. And that comes from the parents at home also. The parents need to keep the players accountable for these things as well. But I think for us to progress in sport or in football here, as we're talking specifically, players and parents need to take some accountability for what we do away from football to allow us to focus on what we need to in terms of the technical development.
You know, I want to ask 2 questions. What criteria was used to select the coaches for this thing opening tomorrow, this academy? And the program for the academy, was it a collaborative effort between Mr. Hurd, you, the technical director, designing the program for the entire? How did you all go about doing that?
Well, we're working together though.
Right.
All right. So this is a collaborative effort. It's
right.
not Mr. Hood doing his thing. And
right. So that's what I'm saying. You and him.
Yeah.
If you sat down and worked out a program for the year or whatever it is, how did you all do that?
Yeah. So as far as the program aspect is concerned, let me answer the first question. So where the coaches are concerned, these are coaches that we would have trained, you know, through our coach education program. And so our highest level of qualification presently, coaches with a B, CONCACAF B license. And so the coaches that are there are the ones who have acquired that level. And so we selected from our top. So most of our coaches, because we have 4 coaches presently, qualified at that level.
You want to give us the names of the people who are going to be in the academy? You can?
Yes.
If you have already done that, you can tell us.
Sure. So our top female coach is Rosilia Regis. You would have heard of the name before. Mm-hmm. And she's the coach that took our under-14 team last year into the CFU competition that the girls performed very well in. We have Boots. Boots? Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Boots is a good model player as far as his...
I didn't realize Boots is fine, the coaching.
Yes. And so Boots himself is qualified. He's a good role model.
Yeah.
And definitely, I mean, Boots knows the game. For those of you who would have seen Boots, actually, it's Euclid Bertrand.
Well, for people that didn't know it.
We call him Boots.
Well, he was a cricketer too, you know.
Yes. And another gentleman by the name of Oris Mills, one of our prospective and young coaches, developing very well. And these guys, and we have one additional person Marcus Bridas is his name.
But is he a player?
He's a player, but who is also he has also started his coaching career. And Kurt, a very brilliant idea coming from Kurt is that we could have a model national team player in our cast of coaches that would be, you know, an example for the players, letting them know that this is something that you can aspire towards. And so he himself is under mentorship. He's being groomed for the lowest level where we are teaching the players to develop technically. And so these are the 4 persons that we have presently at coach, if you would want to add to.
Yeah, no, I think these are all coaches that I've had the privilege of working with on the island before, and I think DFA and Mr. Badwell made great decisions in bringing them in. Coach Mello is also in as a goalkeeper coach, so we have Coach Mello.
Melvin?
Yeah. So
serious?
Yeah, so he's in with the goalkeepers, and that's the technical staff.
Yeah.
And yeah, fantastic. I think Marcus so far has came in. Marcus has been great. The players, because he's a current player, the players all look up to Marcus. If Marcus says jump, they say how high. And I think, he's been a fantastic addition. He's also made a few comments. It's actually made him a better player already. So I think he's enjoying the coaching journey also. But the staff have been fantastic. I think DFA and Mr. Badwell done a great job in selecting the staff that we've got.
Question.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Yes, on the just listening to you all, what you're going to launch tomorrow. What going to happen to the other academies? Like, for example, you have Newtown, you have in the East and so on. Are you all going to work with them?
Great question, though. So we are in transition mode. So we will have, we actually transitioning from what we once called the Regional Training Center to the National Academy.
Okay.
But importantly for us is ensuring that all the other players themselves are exposed to development themselves. And so we have just introduced what we call an accreditation program, where we have already 15 academies, groups that were grassroots structures. And we had them meet a minimum standard, a number of things that we were able to get into. For example, in some cases where we only had coaches working with groups, we ensured that they had an executive body that would help to organize everything out of the field. We wanted the coach to be, directly and specifically functioning on the field. And there are a number of things that we were able to put in place. For example, ensuring that on their staff, there was a safeguarding officer, that there's a medics attached to the academy. We put a number of things in place, and we are providing them with technical support. We're providing them with financial support. As a matter of fact, a number of them have already received the uniforms. So every academy is uniformed. They're receiving balls and equipment. But we will be impacting what happened at the academies, because we are in the process of developing a curriculum. We will give direction to what is done on the field. We will also continue training the coaches that are assigned to them. So in order for them to function within our program, there must be at least 2 D-licensed coaches. The D-license is the lowest level of qualification. So 2 D-licensed coaches attached. We are already providing them with some financial incentive, because we want the coaches to be consistent. We want them to be committed to the program. It can't be one day in the week and the next time they meet the group is the next 3 weeks. They're going to have to be on the field consistently. And so this is the direction that we have gone. We are transferring the development to the academies, but ensuring that they are structured enough and they are committed enough to allow for the kind of development, because this is where the players are going to come from before they go to the academies. And so we want to ensure that work is being done there. So we have started something additional to provide support for our national academy.
Yeah,
I think as well, just on that, it's important to note, because there is always lots of background noise when you do these things, right? That we're here to supplement, as Mr. Badwell said, the development of these players. So these players, if you're a Harlan player, you're still a Harlan player. We're not taking the players away. We train 3 times a week with the older ones, 2 with the younger. They still have nights during the week where they can train with the clubs. And we deliberately avoided training at the weekends so they can still get weekend sessions and games with their clubs also. So I think it's important to note that we're not taking players away from the clubs. If you play for Harlem, for Portsmouth, you still play, you still represent that club, and we'll do our most to support you with that. Because there is always a little bit of background noise when you start up these programs. And it's just important to note that we're here to support and supplement the training of the player, to give them additional training, to put them into an environment that's slightly more challenging than what they have. And that's all it is. When they train with us, we put them back to the clubs. They play games with them.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've said that, we've said that one day in the week is not enough contact time for these players. And so we're giving incentives for an additional day or more time spent. So, for example, 2 days in the week, we'll allow them to get an additional financial support. We are also saying that we must not keep focus on the boys only. We would like to see girls introduced into the programs also. And so there is additional financial support for every academy that has at least 15 girls in the program who are actively engaged on a continual basis.
Yeah, and in terms of how the program itself will run, is it for 1 year? How is it structured, or do you just continually roll it over? Give it a sense as to how, in terms of the operation of the academy itself.
Are you referring to the national
the program that you're going to
Launch.
launch tomorrow? There exactly the length of time, and yeah.
Yes, it's not for an entire year.
Okay,
And
for 1 year.
there will be breaks though. I
Mhm.
mean, during the holidays and so on, that would allow the coaches and the players some time. But it's an entire year. One of the things that our Dominican populace have been asking for is like, once we come out of competition as national teams, we sort of send the players to rest. This is a thing of the past, and so the players are going to be in continuous training, and so it's going to be for the entire year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then next year you choose a different cohort, or you roll them over. How? So, for example, 12-year-olds that are selected this year, do you move them up to 14, or you choose a whole
That's
different
what-
set?
that's
right?
what-
What's the plan?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the U12 will then become
U13,
U13,
and
and then
then
all we then have to
swap
do
them
is
out.
now, obviously, we'll do additional recruitment for players that we may have missed throughout the year.
Right.
We'll always keep an eye on that, but we just have to recruit a new cohort for what will be the girls U12 coming in next year. So, yeah, to answer the question, it's not just a one and done. This isn't like a thing. As long as that funding's still in place, and all we'll do is as we've done with the RTC program, is just year on year slowly develop this program into hopefully some sort of a monster that lets us create these players that can go play Europe, play North America, and represent Dominica
Absolutely.
at the highest level of football.
Excellent.
And the talent ID is never 100% efficient. So there are chances that you might miss one or
Miss
two
somebody,
persons.
right.
And, so on.
Mhm.
And so what we will do, and Kurt has already started the process, is during competition, during festivals, we will still be looking out during the school competitions, because there might just be one person that we may have missed. And so there is always the opportunity and the chance for somebody being introduced. And I'm sure Kurt might want to speak about one or two persons that we were able to find that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, even today, I just came off the field earlier on, and today we had a new girl in from Biosh, fantastic player. Couldn't believe it, unbelievable. And it was just the case that her parents didn't want to send her to the tryouts, so we didn't get a chance to see her. But thankfully, she was spotted. We brought her in today, and she'll be a fantastic addition. I think already, while it's still in its infancy, we've brought in 3 players that we didn't see in the tryout process through school games. Again, that's the way it has to be. So I'll keep across the school fixtures, the festivals, grassroots sessions on a Saturday morning often happen, and me and the coaches and Mr. Badwell, everybody will be across it, making sure that there's no stone left unturned. Like I say, everybody develops at different rates, and sometimes these events that we hold can create a bit of an anxiety for young players, that maybe you don't get to express yourself the way you do in your own environment. So I think it's important that we see the players in their own environment as well, and that's definitely wielded well for us. We've pulled in, like I say, 3 so far, just from doing that.
Okay, guys, that was I think it's something wonderful. It's a good achievement to have that academy opening tomorrow, and I'm sure I speak for.
Are we going to take this?
Do we have a caller?
Yeah,
Let's take this caller. Maybe a question for you guys. Good evening.
Hi, Sibo and your panel. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Good evening.
I wish you guys all the best for 2026.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sibo, seeing that you have, I think, is the president of the Football Association.
President, we have the technical director, the PRO is there, and Mr. Hurd is there, the FIFA thing. So go ahead.
Okay. My question is with regards to the football house, because I remember a few weeks ago when Eddie was on, we did ask him about the Bath Estate playing field that is directly in front of the football house. So my question is there any plan by the BFA to adopt that playing field, bring it up to standard? Because I would want to think that the wish of every football association is to have some sort of ground right in front of your facility. And so seeing that the ground is right there, does the BFA have any plan to adopt the ground, bring it up to some standard? That way, if they're running any sort of training programs, then they could do the theory and the practical right there. So you have the football house, and then you just go outside onto the field and do what you have to do. So that is basically my question.
I was going to take a shot at that.
All right, so you guys can answer. Which one of you all want to take the? Yeah.
Good evening again to the listeners of Q95. Yes, the DFA is currently looking at possible ways to work with the Baffa State Committee to really bring this thing to a close. And we will see in the course of the year, like I've been always saying to you, the public, let's just trust the process and the product will be the best.
So we will see some work going on in the Baffa State field.
There is currently a group of persons cutting the grass. So
okay, so
when we meet again as an executive, we will continue to discuss with the Baffa State Development Committee ways we can really work together, because it cannot be a carte blanche. We take it up and
well, we don't want to hear people calling again and saying it's an eyesore up there, right? So
it takes two, Sibo. It takes two.
Right. So we will see some work going on in the Baffa State playing field. So right, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful thing, and we'll be in touch with you guys during the football season. Obviously, Abby at the PRO will always be in touch.
So tomorrow, we start at 4 p.m.
Right.
We invite the public.
Is it live? You all bringing it live?
Yes, we are.
Right. Okay.
And so we inviting you, Dr. Fountain, if you want.
So it will be at Stock Farm. So 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
We invite you all.
And all the students will be there.
Everything.
Nice.
Well clad.
So you provided uniforms,
everything.
With everything. That's good. That's very nice.
Again, just trust the process and trust the competence of the Football Association. And together, yes, we will take the blows, but together we can build on something great for Dominica.
No, absolutely. I think that's a phenomenal achievement, and congratulations to you guys. And thanks, of course, to the coach. And
Thank you very much. We'll always need you all, right? Because that's what we're there for, so you could provide to the public the kind of information that you just give us here tonight. Thank you. No, thanks for that as well. Thank you,
guys. Appreciate it.
Thank
you. Always.
Thank you. Yes, guys. So it was nice. It's something good.
This is excellent. This is excellent.
And excellent. You have an academy.
I think it's a great opportunity for the young, kids, and I can see that shaping them into better players, and as I said, possibilities of getting,
because Dr. Fountain, a lot of these clubs in England, they take guys from 5 years ago.
Exactly. That's how they do it.
I was here listening to an interview Joe wrote yesterday where he was saying that he wanted Yorkshire. They saw Jacob Bethel at about 9 years old. He wanted Yorkshire to contract him early, But that said, he went to Warwickshire. So, in fact, the Williams sisters in tennis, the father had them from 5 years old.
Yes.
So it's nice what they're doing.
It's great. It's great. I think it's a good addition to our football here in Dominica, and hopefully it will help to increase the quality of the players, man. And we'll see better competitions and a better football team in the years ahead.
Dr. Fountain, football on a whole has become very, 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 very competitive. One thing you all are looking at right now, Dr. Fountain and Sebastian, why Europe has so many African players compared to the Caribbean players? Why?
Say that again, Lobby.
Why there are more African players in Europe than players from the Caribbean?
Well, there are plenty of, in fact, a lot of the clubs now in England are suffering because the African Cup of Nations is going on now, as you know, in Morocco. And for instance, Manchester United, three of their better players are out there. In fact, a lot of players, in fact, Salah for Liverpool, a number of players in Morocco right now in the African Cup of Nations.
And then also the clubs are better organized as well. They have sponsorship, they have good competitions, they have a lot more people obviously to choose from. But, the love for the game is there, and also from a very early age, they start playing in Africa.
Okay, guys, we're going to switch sports now. We're going to talk cricket now. We have with us on the line Sam Cannon, the coach of the Dominica ladies team, who are in St. Vincent now for a tournament. So obviously he's going to keep us informed what's happening. Sam, good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Sebastian. Good night to your panelists.
Yeah, we're hearing you a little soft. Can you speak a little louder, please?
Yes, I can. The internet's a bit bad here, but I'll try to speak as loud as I can.
Okay. Right. So Dr. Fountain is here. Emmanuel Loblack is here as well, Sam. Sam, the Dominica team won the first match yesterday, right? Against St. Lucia?
That's correct.
So you played 3 matches so far. How have things gone? Tell the listeners out there, they want to know.
Okay, right. Basically, our first game was against Grenada. We came up short. Grenada made 183, and we were all out for 67. The second game, we played against St. Vincent. They made a 137, and we got 137 for 4, which went into a super over. In our super over, we got beaten in the super over, and then yesterday against St. Lucia, we beat St. Lucia. We made 107, and we bowled out St. Lucia for 64. Throughout the tournament, I think the girls are proving that they have something. They have what it takes. But then again, we have a very young team. Most of the girls are under 21. So we just have to keep working. And I'm sure that we'll get 3 girls who were there last year back at the Windward setup. We got 2 girls that made a half century. Our captain, Ernisha Fontaine, she got a 51 from 28 balls.
That is Ernisha Fontaine's sister, right?
Ursino Fontaine's sister.
Ursino, that's what I'm saying. That's his sister, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday we have Amaya Gilbert, and she made a half century. So
well, that is the lady you have high hopes for, right, Coach?
Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's the one. I think she can go all the way because she's still young. She's only 18. I think she has the potential to break into the West Indies senior team at any point.
You know, I saw the game against St. Vincent, the Super, and I thought you all should have won that game, eh? The game against St. Vincent.
Yes, I think basically we made a slight error in that we needed 15 runs, 16 runs off
in the last over, yeah. Right.
Yes, and then Abini got 15. So that took us to the super over. And what I think we should have done was to let Abini be on strike.
Right.
If that makes sense. Because
she was the girl that just came from batting to get
That's
on
correct.
you all to the super over. She should have the person facing the bowling. Go on, you're muted. Go on.
No, I'm not muted, but you have to
Okay,
forgive
go
me. The
ahead,
internet
go
goes
ahead.
and comes.
Yeah.
In terms of the bowling, I think generally the girls are bowling well. We have Ginny Valmont. I think she's having a dream tournament. You know, she's been one of the best that we have in our lineup as the only seamer. Because as you know, Dominica, we like a lot of spinners. The Gasper sisters are doing well. Gilbert bowling some lovely off spin, and Abini St. John is bowling a leg breaks and googly. So in terms of the makeup of the team, I think we have a good team, but we need to build more and get more girls to be playing the game in Dominica. We're supposed to have 14 players, but we ended up only with 13. So that therein lies a problem as well.
No, you were supposed to travel with 14?
That's correct.
So why did you go with 13?
Because we only had 13 players available.
That's all?
That's all we had available.
Wow.
Go
ahead.
Yes, Sebastian. So only 2 games. Their tournament is only 2 games Dominica played.
No, they played 3 games so far. They lost against the Super Over against St. Vincent. They lost against Grenada. Played badly. I watched that game. Our bowling was terrible in that game. In fact, a girl from Grenada scored 100. Afi Fletcher. Watch the game. They won yesterday. So they should have won 2 games. They only won 1. Go ahead, Lobby.
Yes, Sebastian. For the women, to play, to move on. I think, is it possible that, I don't know, it might be a cost factor, to have each team play each other twice?
Well, Lobby, that would be a question of finance. That's going to be difficult. I mean, it's all about money now, eh?
I know that's the problem we have. Sebastian, I know that's the problem we have. Especially the women have to play more. There must be more.
Well, some have been working with them for a while, that I know, and he can tell us if he feels satisfied that he has done a lot of work with them, Sam. You can tell us.
In terms of, you need more, the competition is very important.
Yeah, Sam, go ahead, Sam.
Yes, to be fair, if we had a league perhaps in Dominica, we would have been a lot further ahead. But having said that, our numbers of players in the country, I spoke about that last year as well. We had 18 players. And then this year it has been reduced to 13, which is the traveling party and the team. So we need to be doing more for the young girls in cricket. It's not like before where they're pushed into netball and football and other sports. You can make a viable living from the game, cricket. At present, we have 2 girls who won a stipend from CWI, so they get paid every month to do their training. So that's a viable way of going in and getting our young girls motivated and getting to the sport of cricket, which is my first love. And when we come back down, I'm hoping to get some more girls playing at the younger age group, say from under 13 and all the way up.
So yes, but you play tomorrow again, right?
Yeah, we play St. Lucia again tomorrow at
right
10 o'clock. Yeah.
And that will be for third place.
Yes.
But again, the format to me doesn't make sense. We beat St. Lucia yesterday. So if they beat us tomorrow, then we come last and they come third?
Well, on average?
I'm trying to understand how they work that out, because you beat them in the round robin, and if you come tomorrow and you lose against them, then they come before you.
Yes, of course. Yes. That's the way
yes. But that is how it's been. The competition has gone. But normally there would be a 50-over tournament after the T20.
Right.
So then we would have gone into the 50-over tournament, and then it's 2 tournaments in one. But this year it's only been the T20 because of financial issues, as we all know about. And but then again, the girls, their tournament start next week. The regional tournament start next week.
Yeah, I know that. We're right in St. Vincent as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's where it will be held.
Yeah, I am thinking that they're using this tournament as like a camp, because previously you normally have a camp before the tournaments. So I think they're using it as a camp, because straight from next week, Tuesday, is a T20 Blaze. So the girls should be well prepared for that.
Okay. So have you been satisfied with with what you have seen on tour from our Dominican girls?
Yes, I am satisfied. The only thing I would like to see more of consistency. You make a half century in one game and then the next game you don't really score. I would like for the girls to be consistent, keep getting runs, keep putting the numbers up, which is what is required.
Yes, well, Sam, I want to wish you the best tomorrow. I hope the girls can win tomorrow, beat St. Lucia again, so that way you all can come for the tournament. So as you said, when you get back, I suppose you'll have a debriefing with the Cricket Association, and you'll put forward what you think should be done for women's cricket.
Yes, I will do that. And thanks for the opportunity to come on your show again.
No problem.
Just like to wish the listening public to keep supporting, and to your panelists, keep doing a good job, fellas.
Thank you, man. You send me the link so I can watch the game tomorrow. You send it to me.
All right, then, sir. Okay.
All right, thanks. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, but ladies cricket, even in the Caribbean, West Indies level. They're struggling. I mean, struggling big time.
There's some ways to go,
Yeah, but before we have Maggie, before we take Maggie, guys, let's talk a little international cricket. It's not only in wars might is right? You see that in cricket now. Pakistan and India, they don't play each other at all. You never hear the ICC saying if they don't. We had the World Cup recently where Pakistan, it was India that didn't go to Pakistan. They had to play in, and India won the T20, won that like that, the 50-over. Remember the Champions Trophy. Bangladesh have decided they're not going to India because there's a problem now between Bangladesh and India.
Religious problem.
Yeah, because the lady who was the president of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, she was deposed, and she's now in India, asylum. So Bangladesh wants her to be India to send them back.
Because she was sentenced.
Right, sentenced.
Actually,
and India refused. So Bangladesh have now decided they told the ICC they're not playing in India. And the ICC they're saying that, well, if you don't play, you lose your points. I just find that harsh. I find that very... And incidentally, Bangladesh first match is against the West Indies.
Yes.
Exactly 1 month from today, the 7th of February. That's when the World Cup starts. Bangladesh supposed to be playing West Indies.
West Indies may be gifted some
2
points.
Yeah, but I saw today that they're trying to have discussions with the ICC.
But it has gone further because now one of the Indian teams now have now done
Kolkata
away.
Knight Riders. They have sent back one of the Bangladesh players.
The only Bangladesh player who was
Mustafa Rahim.
They have said that they no longer.
Rahman. Sorry.
In fact, the BCCI was the one that instructed them
to send him home.
So you know, it's a war. It's a war.
So you have it right everywhere. And guys, we saw the demolition of England, right? In fact, you heard talk about the coach being fired, and what's the name as well? Rob Key, the director of cricket. In fact, Ben Stokes feels that everything should stay as is. He said that he feels he and McCollum can revive England cricket.
Yes, and also, you know, and then some people I also notice you know, and I think it's probably a good policy compared to what West Indies does. You know, you don't perform in one game and then they axe you and they bring somebody else in. You see how they talk with their openers.
Right? For the whole series,
The openers, I think for the first 3-4 tests, they don't get a 12-run partnership. Yet they stuck with them, you know, because you know, once you've identified the players, I mean, give them a chance. Sometimes they're just going for a bad patch. Look at Bethel. Bethel came back and scored a brilliant 100.
High class.
He had not scored much in the first 4 tests, you know. So I think sometimes it's a lesson for us as well in the West Indies and the way we go about selecting our teams. I would like to see something more like what England is doing. Give the guys a chance, man.
But
give them a chance.
England had also the problem off the field as well. There was this incident where Ben Duckett after the second test, they had a 5-day break and they went part of Australia when they would relax. And there was one evening, Ben Duckett was so drunk he couldn't even get back to the hotel.
He was trying to drug his words away because he was not scoring.
And you know what happened? Somebody filmed that, and that was in the Daily Mail in England, you know. And they said Ben Duckett was, and there was also an instance where the vice captain, Harry Brook, even had an altercation with a bouncer. You know, bouncer is this big guy who work in nightclubs and so on. He's trying to get into the nightclub and he had the thing. So a lot of problems off the field. There's a lot of things England have to do to come back, because having been beaten 4-1, that is really something else. I mean, although people like Glenn McGrath had predicted England would have lost 5-0, he had predicted. But the guy Bethel, we have to say that our senior intervention. He was born in Barbados, went to England when he was about 10 years old. He was born there, Graham Bethel. So Jacob Bethel, I said. Graham Bethel was his father who played cricket for Barbados years ago. We have a caller. Let's take the caller. Good evening.
Yes, Ibo, good evening. Good evening to Dr. Fonkin also.
What's up, man?
Not too bad. Thank you very much for the t-shirt.
Oh, you got your Indian shirt, right?
Yes, I got.
And it fits you nicely, right?
Well, I haven't even tried it on because it's today I got it. The first day I got it hadn't arrived as you have said.
Right.
And then the second time they were taking stock, so I didn't even bother to do it, and I could just knock by the border. So
well, you have to thank Del Natchez for that. Thank Del Natchez for providing a lovely Indian cricket team shirt. Yeah, thank them. Yeah.
So I thank Mr. Rennie for that, and
and Joe Faustin as well. And Angela.
Yes. And Joe Faustin.
Yeah.
I find the English people, they are unfair and they are very ungrateful. Then McCollum took them to where they are. They forget before the Ashes, the amount of teams they beat and where that then McCollum took them, except India and now Australia. But they've been doing very, very well. You know, and to think about firing the coach now after one series, I think that is unfair to the coach. I was just about asking you about Bethel because I saw one of the commentators say his father played for Barbados.
Yes, that's a long time. In the days of people like Roald Branca, Gary Sobers, and so he played West Hall and these people. Yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering whether he had Bajan roots. But
he was born in Barbados. I mean, Jacob Bethel was born in Barbados. He left Barbados about 10 years. Yeah, when he was about 10.
Yeah, see, but what do you think about Bethel?
I think he's a high class. The guy looks like he. I'll be very surprised if you don't hear him making 10, 15 tests 100. It was a high class inning. He looked well organized. His technique is good. His stroke play. He looking like a guy who could be there for England for the next 5, 10 years at number 3. He looked like a guy like that.
Yes, and he is so confident for 22-year-old. For 22, he's confident. He's sure of himself. And the second inning, if England number 1 batsman,
Joe Root.
If Joe Root was playing like him, maybe they could have won the game or even drawn the game because Australia lost 5 wickets. You won the second inning is that Boland had Root all over the place. Root wasn't even sure what he was doing. And see, I heard the lobby and the other player mention about the stature of the athletes. I remember some Englishman came to the Caribbean and he said on his way from the airport he saw some guys picking mangoes with stones, and he stopped the taxi. And he was saying he can imagine. Now we understand why USA has so many strong fast bowlers. But see, in La, we used to pick coconut with stones. I'm not talking about dry nuts, jelly coconut.
Yeah, when we saw it Korea, we actually to play with stones. Guys who bowl to with stones, honestly. Seriously, stones.
Yeah, it's easy to pick mango with stones, but you used to pick coconut with stones. So, that would build you up.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I wonder whether one of the sporting associations can talk to the rally the government to do something about the gardens. We need to develop the gardens into a first class cricket ground.
Well, if you look at all grounds around there, they look like places for grazing. Tenval. If you go around the island, that's what you see.
But
they cut the grass too. They were cutting the grass. That's what I was still.
Yeah, I saw that there are about 100 NEP workers there, probably.
Where you used to practice.
Yeah.
I mean, since I growing up, I know gardens like that. Man, it is time that we develop the budget for mechanical gardens. I remember sometime about a political party tried to do something just because of politics and other sides. Say, put down those apps. Put down those apps. I think.
Yeah, anyway, thank you. Right. Yeah. Guys, quickly, we have Maggie there with us as we wind down. Maggie, I know tell us what you're here for. Quickly.
Give thanks for the opportunity. Well, I just come to promote this big event, this nice event we have on Sunday. This Sunday coming, and it's for what it calls. It's for young Chance Marshall, who a former national youth player who had a tragic vehicle accident. During the independence. That season there, and he's unable to walk at the moment at this time, and he's been doing rehabilitation and stuff like that. I mean, so the players, the footballers, the veterans, and the young players, DFA together with DNX, we're putting together this event Sunday, up at Stock Farm.
What time does it start?
4 p.m. We're going to have the under 20 versus the under 17 national team. They're going to play. That's his peers, his people, and them, his youths, and them.
Right.
And then after that, you're going to have the veterans, man like Kevin
people like whom? Tell us.
Solka. You're going to have man like Kieran, Charles, and these guys. There's a lot of.
So it's a collaboration between DFA and you. And,
yes, DFA and DNX level sports. And we're going to put that on. That's fundraising. So we're asking all the patrons to just come out and enjoy some beautiful football on a Sunday afternoon and just walk for a little donation. The parents will be up there in a supporting group.
So the young kid, he got. I heard he say paralyzed at one time. Is that true?
Yeah, he's unable to walk. Yeah. So
wow.
Right now he's doing working with machine and stuff like that. Different kind of therapy and stuff like that. Okay. But he's in good spirits because I haven't seen him yet, but I heard him last night when he was on the radio. He called and he's really a strong youth. He's a marshal, marshal. Right.
Okay.
So we're doing that, and so we're asking the patrons to come out
on Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock at Stock Farm.
Yeah, man.
So it's a good cause to help a young man who's struggling, who had an accident, a young footballer.
Yes.
Okay.
And there'll be some nice football up there.
No problem.
Solka and the guys and them going to be playing.
No, why it would be nice to see people like Solka again. And I'm sure there are people.
Sure.
So Maggie, no problem. Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Yes, right, guys, we've come to the end of the program. So time goes so quickly when you have it. Yeah. So, Dr. Fontaine, and on behalf of Emmanuel Loblack, Dr. Fontaine, first program for the year. Oh, by the way, I want to read something, Dr. Fontaine. Somebody sent from Texas, and let me see if I read it for you. Let me see it quickly before we close up. Let me read it. Let me get it. Yeah, it says that naturalized citizens should not lay their guard down. Place of birth is stamped in the American passport. So now that Dominica has been blacklisted, there's still a possibility that individuals can be denied entry on the return to the United States from Dominica because they said it's stamped in the passport. So I just wanted to alert people about that. Okay? Good night.
Our place of birth becoming a problem.
Yeah, the place of birth. It will be on the passport, on the American passport. Good night. We'll be back next week.
Sports Wrap, your dynamic, riveting weekly sports show on Q95. The entire Caribbean is